Happy Monday to you all. Hope everybody had a great day in the markets. It is Monday, May 8th. Quiet day out there. Markets didn't do much, just traded in a tight range pretty much all day. And before we get into the daily chart and what we're thinking about for tomorrow, don't have much to go into, of course, with CPI looming around the corner. Um, this video, of course, is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And of course, if you're liking the video, the content that we're putting out, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you are alerted every time we put out new content about the markets. All right, so that being said, here we are at our favorite view, the daily chart. You can see the candle here that was put in by the markets. Really, not much to report as far as that's concerned. But the one good thing here, we are still holding over this downtrend, and certainly all the moving averages, short term and otherwise. So that is certainly good for the bulls. But we are at a precarious spot, as we were talking about on the Sunday video. Right here at that value area high, and so that is one word of contention. However, last time we were up in this area, the Momo was pretty overextended into the overbought area. You can see up here around that 420, but it has had a nice chance to kind of cool down and kind of flatline around the zero line. So it is a little bit different in that sense that last time when we were over this value area high, we were getting those overbought readings as well. But either way, CPI probably will be that catalyst that either is going to drive us one way or the other. And so what I'm wondering about for tomorrow is potentially we get the actual move tomorrow, whether it's to the upside or the downside. Now this, I would say it's lower odds chance that it happens, but there is the scenario, and sometimes we do see this in front of big data. We actually see a big move in the markets, and institutions or what have you are using that liquidity to either exit their position or get into new positions before data comes out. Usually getting out of their position, because they don't want to be holding through a major economic data release. But that could propel us up higher or lower, just depending on what they're feeling. So that is something I am watching out for. I would say it is a lower chance that it would happen. I probably would favor the more likely thing. I wouldn't favor it because no one likes to trade in this price action. But the more likely thing would be just that we would continue to chop around. But there is just that slight chance that tomorrow we do get a push in either direction, and I'll show you the hourly and 4-hour and why, at least from a technical standpoint, that has a slight chance of happening, and we'll get into that here in a second. But still, we're looking at the fibs. Really, again, not too much to report. We're just still trading in the range here. So let's really just get into the tighter time frame and see what we can surmise from that. Now, the one thing I am looking at here is this type of flag that we're forming, a pennant, coming in here. These candles, again, if you had a hard time trading today, look at what we were dealing with as far as the price action is concerned. And let me actually get to this. There you go. So, you guys can see, and, just look at this. This was the consolidate. We tried to break out, fake break above, fake break below, and we pretty much ended flat in the middle here. So, not too much, to report, obviously, on that side. However, like I was saying before, what we could do is, actually, could almost make a diamond. We almost can do a diamond as well. I'll draw this out a few ways, but it's not quite as clear here on the 4-hour. Let me just shoot over to the hourly. Okay, we could make a bit of a case for a little bit of kind of a pennant flag situation here. And so, value is just over here at least on the hourly at 413.34. So that might ruin the party, but we can certainly get above that. And let me duplicate this here. I'm just doing it real quick, but we get the idea here that we've got some type of a wedge pattern starting to form. Whether or not it'll play out, we'll see. You could also make the case here for a bit of a head and shoulders, right? Head, kind of shoulder, shoulder. Again, it's not really valid again with these head and shoulders patterns unless we see the neckline break. So it's just that potentiality of one. So certainly something to watch. But like I was also saying before, we could also make a case, and let's see if, how quickly I can do this. Make a case for a little bit of a diamond top, certainly. Let me do this. Oh boy, sorry. Let's see, maybe not. Eh. And now that I'm kind of creating it here, I mean it's a little bit of a stretch. Yeah, not really, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about. The head here, corner, corner, and then fill it out. It's not as clean as I kind of thought now that I'm putting it out. But I think we could make that potentiality. At least you could make somewhat of a case here. But certainly the head and shoulders maybe, or that pennant for sure I want to be watching. And at least for the pennant, if it moves to the upside, then maybe, we do get that run. If we start to break down and break this range, and that's what really I'm going to be looking for tomorrow, is the range. The range, if we can break it, we're likely to see that move in either direction. And let's just throw out a couple of levels since this chart's still a little bit cleaner than my other one. Okay, so, and what I'm also really looking for, let's go here, and I'll bring it down here. And this was what I was looking for yesterday, or earlier today, was to see if they break this 10 o'clock high. If in fact we can start getting under that 411.65 area here, I'm going to be looking for, obviously, be a range breaking out to the downside. And so let me just highlight it. Okay, there we go. So if we do in fact break this range, I'll be looking for more downside. We're probably going to have to sweep this little area for that extra confirmation. Probably under 411 might be, the safest scenario. Or if we break, come back, retest the bottom of the consolidation, break that structure, retest, and then we head back down. And where would I probably be looking for? Well, first area I would think of is back testing down here, okay? By back down towards 410, I would say that would be a nice area to look out for, and lining up here with the first bullish impulse candle at 9 o'clock from Friday. So that's probably, my first downside area. If we start to really break under that 410, probably going to look for 409.55. And you've heard me talk about that 409.55 many times before. If we start to crack under that, and I'd also be looking right here. Okay, that's about 409 though. So yeah, 409, 409.55, but 55 is really the one that's the main one that's on my radar. But if we start to break down from that 410, I'll be looking for another 50 cents. And then if they can really take out this 409, probably a lot of the late longs that had gotten in on this push will start to panic out. So if we start to break under, and you can see here last time, we were watching this in another video. Let me get rid of this thing. We were watching this area in another video that this was a big area before. Obviously, as you can see, it bounced up and came back down and chopped around. Okay, so if we break back under this, it's probably going to trigger more stops and bring in some more selling, and which might lead us back down to either the opening price right here, oh, it's just about another dollar actually, not intentional, or coming down into these highs and basically giving back all of Friday's rally. So maybe down in here into the 407.55, and generally that area. So that is a possibility. Would be quite a move. But it's we could potentially see it. Now, what could we think about for the upside here? Let me take this off. Actually, I'm gonna leave that on. What could we think for the upside? Okay, so we've got all these. Let's see, one, two, three, four basically equal highs here in a row. And as far, just to note what we were talking about in the last video about this pushing up, I thought we were going to continue up a little bit higher in the morning, as I mentioned, but we pretty much made the move, the scenario that I was thinking that we were going to do during the day and after hours and Globex. We opened at 6, and then it kind of pushed up, rallied, and then came back down. That's kind of really what I was looking for. At least for my trades today, I really didn't do much. I took like 2 or 3 little scalps for like 3 points, and that was it. So I didn't have much to report as far as that's concerned. But anyway, so let's see if we can actually, I'm going to watch out for these fake breaks again, but if bulls can start to really get over and start to sweep this final high, so 413, let's see, well, it's almost 414. Let's see what these highs are. Yeah, 413.75 to 413.85. We can start to get above that. We should see some decent momentum back to the upside. Probably looking into these lows here, if not this base here, as a potential area to look to price to be drawn to. But I really personally wouldn't get too excited about longs until we sweep this area here. Again, pretty much over that 413.85, we can call it maybe 14 even, that whole zone. But if so, we could see another 75 cents up to this 414.75, this base, okay, this structure right here that was broken. And we saw, that big move once this did break down. So head and shoulders type of situation. And that's what I'd be looking for mainly. If they can get over that, probably look just a little bit higher, and I'd be pretty surprised, but anything's possible. Could head up back up to like 415, 55, and then looking into around 416 up here. So I'd probably be looking right here. I'll just mark them off and up here, but would be way outside of value, and I would be getting really really suspicious of price up here. That doesn't mean I would go ahead and short if it's a strong rally, but I could see something where if we do make the move up here, then maybe around 3 or at some point in the afternoon session, we start to actually reverse and come down. And it would be the same here. If we do actually sell down to these highs, if this is defended, these highs, if we do start to break down, maybe around here, again, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it's possible 2:30, maybe power hour, that from here we start to lift up a little bit, and then we just kind of land somewhere in between 410 and 411, and just kind of hang out around there where the day is, maybe plus or minus 75 or 50 percent, depending on which way we go, whether it's up to the north side or the south side. But those are the two scenarios I am watching, but it's all going to start with this range. So again, for me, still defense. Those are just, these upside and downside targets. This is kind of more planning for the scenario. If we do actually see that bullish momentum or bearish momentum, if not, just expect more of this range, and don't overtrade. Defense, smaller position sizing, lower expectations. You get 1 or 2 trades in maybe, and you're in, out, and then you go about your day and do something else. So that's what I would be doing if this range doesn't break. But that's gonna that will be the most important thing that we're gonna have to do before if we can even hope for any momentum. Either way, I would still expect that, or guess that at some point, even if we do have a big move down, that we would probably reverse a little bit at some point in the afternoon session. So yeah. All right. Well, I hope this is helpful, and I hope everybody trades safely tomorrow and smart. Follow your rules, follow your plan, and I will see you on the other side. Take care.